Margarita Alelín Núñez Arroyo, journalism with minors in dance and creative writing. Identify as a woman, female girl, as Mexicana, Chicana, Latinx, Mexican American. Well, I grew up in Compton, California, and ever since I was young, people, the U.S. media, declared what we Compton kids could do or couldn't do. You kind of grew up thinking that you would either go to jail or end up stuck in the city because you didn't really hear about people going to college. I think that for me, growing up in Compton made me want more, made me very, very, like, I remember that I was confident, like I had to be confident, because if I wasn't confident, if I didn't ignore what they said, I wouldn't be here. And so I thought I was like everything. I thought I was the shit. Like I was like, I literally went to a journalism teacher in high school who told me as a freshman that that journalism was only for upperclassmen. And as a freshman, I was like, well, I'm the best writer you will ever have, so you need me in your class. Mm-hmm. And now I look back and I'm just like, what the hell? I was like, thank you. Like, how could I do? But I think that was part of it. Like, I had to behave in that way and act in that way to feel like I could get somewhere.
Margarita mentions here that growing up she had to be more confident due to all the people, media, and society declaring what she should do or shouldn't do. This pace we can refer to as the cycle of socialization, and we see instead of recreating the cycle, she decides to break it, continuing on with a new path.
I think I became more aware when I came to KU that I was Latina. I became more aware of like what that meant. Because when I came in, I didn't want to go to Halo. I had a really tough time when I moved to Kansas, where students who were Latinx would say that I was trying to be white and that I didn't look Mexican enough. So I didn't really want to be surrounded.
Margarita mentions that coming to Kansas was hard and she had comments made towards her about her race. She was now more aware of being Latina and what that meant. From this, we can look back at the article. We talked about dealing with racial microaggression in everyday life and see this is something she was dealing
with. Alright, my name is Caitlin. I'm a psychology major. Say I'm Caucasian and I'm a female.
Okay.
So I went to Catholic school all my life. We were pretty much taught like every race is equal. So we had religion class like every day, and there were a lot of like Mexican people in my school. Like it was probably half Mexican, and I want to say the only reason that was is because we live like there's a certain, so Catholics have like dioceses. It's kind of like counties, I guess, sort of, and so everywhere in the United States is divided into these dioceses, and so our diocese is the only one in the United States that lets people go for free. And like other Catholic schools are like $10,000 a year or something like that. So I think that's why we had such a big like diverse mix of people at our school. I think either way, even if I would have went to a different Catholic school or a different public school, it still would have been that genders and I guess races definitely were, everyone is accepted and no one was left out or anything like that. Don't think I was necessarily at a disadvantage, but I mean, I just think I was equal, pretty much. Being female and being white, I think I was just equal with everyone else.
Growing up,
I was probably lower middle class. My parents are relatively poor, like, I think, they're in the, like, $44,000 range, like,
Yeah.
and my dad didn't work, for, I guess, since my 7th grade year, so.
And do you think that negatively impacted your education?
No, I don't. I think it actually positively impacted it because I ended up getting a Pell Grant to pay for my college, so that's why I'm actually here right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. So.
In this section of the interview, Caitlin mentions that throughout her schooling, she was taught that every race was equal. This idea that every race is equal is what we learned as colorblindness. Essentially, she was taught colorblindness through her schooling. She also mentions that she never felt she was at a disadvantage, rather equal.
I mean, everyone is super helpful. Everyone's really willing to help you out if you don't know what you're doing, which is pretty much what I've been doing since I've been here. Everyone here is pretty accepting of everything, which is really nice because I have like gay friends and I have like African American friends and I have Asian friends and stuff like that. So it's like it's definitely been more of like a diverse environment, which is really nice compared to like what I was in. I don't know if this really counts, but I work at a Mediterranean restaurant and the owners are Jordanian, and so they're not necessarily racist, but they definitely have like prejudice against like a few like types of white people, I guess, and sometimes I get called like a whitey and stuff like that by them, but I mean, I know they're joking, but it's not, I don't know if it was necessarily like any kind of like a barrier to like getting anywhere because I'm just a waitress, but like I feel like if I wanted to ever move up, if they ever did have a position where I could move up, I probably would not be able to move up. I don't really think like anything bigger than like a little group project, I don't really feel like I have much of a voice. I feel like I kind of blend in with everybody else, and I mean if I were to stick out, then I mean I just kind of be hammered back down. I just kind of, I don't know, I feel like women overall are just kind of like, I don't want to say I feel like they're second to men because they're not second to men, but that's how I feel like I'm viewed as, I guess, and I feel like that the men's opinions and like things that they say are looked at more seriously, I guess, than anything that I would say.
My name is Marcus Robinson II, and I am a junior majoring in linguistics and double minoring in global international studies and English. I'm African American. I'm a cisgender male. Use he, him, his pronouns. I feel like with my education was pretty like standard, or I'd like to think so. From like basic like elementary school up until like high school, and now that I'm in college, I feel like everything is pretty standard. But I feel like if I were of a different identity, or specifically of a different race, I feel like my education probably would have been a lot better. But I feel like the demographics in my school district were very like even. We're not even, but very diverse. There were a lot of different racial groups and a lot more minorities than I guess white people. So my high school, there were predominantly African American, Hispanic students, and there were a lot less like white students compared to the other marginalized identities that attended the school. So comparing that to college was a complete like wake up call for me because I wasn't like used to that coming to college. But yeah, well, in terms of like picking KU and sticking with KU, there are circumstances that kind of kept me here. I had an option in mind prior to coming to KU, but some things kind of fell through that kind of prevented that from happening, so KU was kind of like a second choice for me. But once I got here, I didn't have the desire to leave at all. I honestly don't think so. Like I'm trying to think like back now, but I honestly don't think I've had any like, in terms of like professors, like interactions with professors, I haven't had any like negative restrictions whatsoever.
Okay.
Within my family, I feel like I do have a voice, and my family is very like accepting of all of my identities and who I am, being like, well, obviously black because
Obviously. You said obviously. That was good.
But with me being gay, my
Yeah.
family's very accepting of that, and I came out like very like unconventionally. I didn't want to be like, oh hey, like what's going on? This is an announcement, but I kind of like it happened like on accident in a way, and my family was like, we knew, like it's okay.
Marcus mentions that when he came out, his family was very accepting and supportive. Very recently, we looked at the cycle of liberation, and we can see this man went from the core of self love to getting ready, then finally reaching out about his coming out experience.
At KU, I really don't know. I feel like you have to be like a lot more aggressive in terms of letting your voice be heard because there is such a small number of people that have share the same identities as you compared to like the whole population of students on campus.
Later on in Marcus's interview, he was asked if he felt he had a voice here at KU. He says, in short, due to the low number of people who share the same identity as himself, he feels as if he has to be aggressive to be heard. This sounds very similar to the Silence Dialogue article and the dialogue of teachers within the article.
I think that giving students of color an opportunity to have like representation in all forms of like university life, like in student senate, people have been working so hard to try to get like their multicultural student government to be a part of student senate, and student senate's been constantly like rejecting it for however many reasons.
Yeah.
But I think just like representation is probably the most important thing that could be used to help with retention. When you have people or know that people like you are succeeding and are visible in all of these different sorts of spaces can kind of help you say like, oh, I can succeed too, I guess. I'm really not too sure if that made any sense.